Welcome to ThingSpace Development Series Episode 2, Acquiring Your ThingSpace Access and Session Tokens. Please be sure to watch Episode 1, Getting Started with ThingSpace APIs, as you will be using your generated key and secret values. Step number 1, perform a base64 encode on your key and secret values. By using a base64 encoding tool of your choice, enter your key and secret values separated by a colon. Make sure not to include any spaces. Then, follow the instructions on the tool that you are using to get your base64 encoded value. Please take note as you will use this outputted value in the next step. The Verizon ThingSpace platform requires that you make 2 API calls to request security tokens that you will use to make further API calls against accounts under your profile. I will be using Postman, which is a free testing and development API tool. Step number 2, request a ThingSpace access token. On the documentation page at ThingSpace.com, under Documentation, API, Connectivity Management, Quick Start, Credentials and Tokens. Please reference Step 6. You will be sending a POST request to the ThingSpace.Verizon.com endpoint requesting an OAuth2 token. Now, let's take a look at how to make this call in Postman. ThingSpace provides you with Swagger files containing API collections that you can download and import into your API development environment. Navigate to ThingSpace.com, Documentation, API Connectivity Management. Then, at the top left of the page, click on API Spec. If you are using the ThingSpace Swagger file, your first API call will be getTSToken. Select your method, then enter your endpoint URL. In the header section, you will have 2 keys, authorization and content type. Your authorization value will be your base64 encoded value preceded by the word BASIC with a capital B and a space between the two. And for content type, you will use x-www-form-URL encoded. Under the body section, there is 1 key, grant type, and its value, client credentials. Once you have entered all of the required information, click on Send at the top right. Your generated access token will display in the response below. The access token will be valid for 1 hour from when it was first issued, and any further token requests during that time will return the same token. For your final step, you will need to request your ThingSpace session token. If you are using the ThingSpace Swagger file, your next API call will be titled GetUWS Token. Select your method, then enter your endpoint URL. In the header section, you will have 2 keys, authorization and content type. Your authorization value will be your ThingSpace access token preceded by the word bearer with a capital B and a space between the two. And for content type, the value will be application JSON. In the body section, you will be using your UWS credentials that you acquired from the Episode 1 video. Once you have entered all of the required information, click on Send at the top right. You will then be presented with your session token in the response below. Your session token will remain valid as long as your application continues to use it. However, it will expire after 20 minutes of inactivity. Congratulations! You have completed all steps required to request your ThingSpace security tokens. Now that you have your tokens, you will need to manage them for subsequent API requests. For more information on what we've covered in this video, please access the ThingSpace documentation site, API Quick Start, Credentials and Tokens.